Holly Knightle with another winner on the board today and continuing her fantastic form as well in the saddle. Leads all the way. Gee, she can rate her front runner, can't she?
Certainly can. That was her second winner leading from go to woe essentially today, Tess. She's made a bit of a habit of it over the last few weeks, and as you mentioned and as Darren mentioned in the post-mortem from that race, is that she just rates them beautifully. It's one of the strengths of her riding early in her career, and while she's obviously very adept at winning from off the speed as well, it's certainly her one wood at this stage of her career, and I think she's a genuine star on the rise here in the West, to be honest, Tess, and I think she's a name we're going to be hearing a lot more of in years to come.
Exactly right, and getting opportunities from some of our big trainers as well, such as Pete Fernie, and obviously combining with Ashley Maley as well, through not only out here in the country sort of areas, but also the metropolitan regions as well. But we now move to race number 6, the Palace Hotel, the Goldrush, over the 1200 metres here. We'll kick things off straight away, Riley, as runners are in the yard now. The one is Celebrity Prince as the last start winner, Helen Harding, and Zephyr Johnson Porter.
It was a dominant winner last start as well, Tess. It was a very impressive performance, first run here on the Goldfields. That was in a 70 plus over 1100 metres. He sat off the speed and he put them away with some authority to win, going away from rivals by 2 lengths. It was a proper performance, and he brings some proper form prior to that as well to the table from when he was formerly racing in town with Mickey Grantham as a former Peters Investments galloper. He was unlucky behind Desert Whisper over the 1000 metres at Bunbury in a 66 plus. He was beaten under 2 lengths by Want a Winner, beaten 4 lengths by Supernatural in a 66 over 1400 on a heavy track, and then 2 starts ago ran 5th. Probably wasn't in the right part of the track on the day, but was only beaten 3 lengths by Want a Winner in that race as well. So he brings comfortably the strongest form lines to the table, I think. My slight knock on him today, even though I have put him on top, is that he is likely to settle last in running from his gate, and I'm not sure they're making up a great deal of ground here at the KBRC today. We have seen leaders able to get away from them on that corner, but I do tend to think he's the best horse in this race, and if he was to bring his best, he could prove to be a very handy acquisition to Helen Harding and her team.
The 2 is Zing to Win, Peter Fernie and Holly Knightle, looking for a race-to-race double, this combination.
It just hasn't been the same horse, this preparation for mine, Zing to Win. He's been very consistent and hasn't been far away from the mark whatsoever. He hasn't been beaten any further than 2.3 lengths in each of his last 5 runs, but he's just not showing the same point-to-point acceleration and that turn of foot that we came to know and love from him when he was dominating up here on the Goldfields. I think it's good use of the claim, should be able to find a nice position in running from a good draw. Holly Knightle's claim means he only gets in with the 57 kilos, but I think he would need to find a length or 2 if he was to be winning this.
Mungo Jerry is the 3, Ricky Brown and Schnell Cooper.
He's been very consistent over the course of the journey. He can roll forward from his wide gate. The blinkers come off here today, so it begs the question whether they might try and look at riding him a little bit more conservatively this time around, but he has been well beaten in his past couple of runs, or at least last start was beaten 4 lengths by Celebrity Prince in the key form reference for this race, was beaten a length by Treasured Queen the start prior to that, so it is hard for me to see how he turns the tables on those gallopers from his last couple of runs, given I thought he got every chance.
The 4 is Sure Thing, we know has been a very nice galloper for the David Smith yard, is first up here today off the back of 71 days, and Troy Turner's aboard.
He has been freshened up, and he's a very intriguing galloper on return off the back of that freshen up as well, Tess. As we know, his best is very good. He can run time, he can really break their hearts from the front. He was dominating down in Esperance. He had a crack in town at Ascot, ran well, ran 4th in a graduation over 1200 metres, and won a 70 plus in pretty dominant fashion as well, defeating Zing to Win by 2.5 lengths here at Kalgoorlie. We know he can certainly do it. He's got a great career record and a great winning strike rate. The questions I ask about him here today is how forward is he off the back of that 71-day gap between runs, and how much work does he have to do to get across, given there is a lot of speed in this race, and specifically speed that is drawn underneath him. I think if Troy Turner can work his way across and find the top without having to do too much work early, despite the fact that I think that is doubtful, he might take some catching.
The 5 is Ballback, is always around the mark, Peter Fernie and Jefferson Sang.
Get some weight relief here, Ballback, on last start, utilising that claim of Jefferson Sang, only gets in with the 54 kilos. He's another who's had a very consistent preparation, has only won the 1 race, and that was first up, but he's been racing very well. He can push forward and hold a prominent position from barrier 3. He probably lacks the quality of a couple of these and the ability of a couple of these, but he puts himself there in running, and he continues to try very hard each and every time he steps out.
The The 6 is Treasured Queen. She's been very consistent recently. Peter Fernie, Braden Garth.
She certainly has. She hasn't finished any worse than second this preparation. She was finally able to put that win on the board 2 starts ago, defeating Boulder by half a length when able to find the front throughout. Was able to find the front again last start and was gunned down late by high pressure. I'm not sure that's the strongest form reference leading into this race. Could lead again, could push forward and find the front from barrier 5, but from what we have seen from her this preparation and also last preparation as well, while she should run well, I think the 1200 metres might be just a bridge too far in terms of her best distance.
The 7 is False Statement, first up here today, off the back of 161 days. Felicity Forbes Eves and Chris Nickel.
10-year-old Gelding, having start number 60 here today back at the races. He's a get-back, run-on type of a horse. As you mentioned, he is resuming without a trial. He's 161 days between runs. So barrier 1 for a get-back, run-on type of a horse could prove to be problematic. I think he's going to find this a bit harder than his recent runs. He was a 70-plus winner down at Esperance over 1,200 metres last preparation, but that race was significantly easier than what he finds himself in here this afternoon. So I'm happy to have a look at him here first up.
Another first up galloper is the 8 and Nicolite. The shades come off. Justin Robbins trains and Alex Hearn rides.
Intriguing galloper. Went around in a Wongoom handicap over at Warrnambool not too long ago. She's a mare that's certainly got ability, but she's certainly got her own issues as well. The blinkers come off for her first up run here today. We haven't seen her at the races for 233 days. I'm not exactly sure what to expect here on return. She looked to move pretty well in a recent trial, but given how many of Justin Robbins have run today, I'm going to suggest that she might need this as well.
The 9 is Boab Boy. Raquel Williams is here today and Matty Derrick rides.
He's having his first run for the new team. Steps out for the first time for Raquel Williams. He trialled like a superstar. It was an incredibly good trial leading into his most recent preparation. I thought he was really good first up. That was in a graduation over 1,300 metres when only beaten a length and a half behind God's Gate. Then his form tapered in his 2 runs following that. Does have speed to burn, this horse. He could really rock and roll forward with a bit of aggression. Has been 39 days between runs, which could leave him vulnerable, and he hasn't won for a very long time, but I could see him running a race.
And the 10 is the favourite in Secret Style. Second up here today is $3.90. Peter Fernie, Tash Faithful.
On the drift late, she was able to put 4 wins in a row last preparation, progressing from a maiden into 58-plus company, and then culminated last prep with a third in the Ron Sayers sprint. So we know she's a quality mare on her day. Thought she trialled really well leading into this preparation. She slipped at the start on return, and while she got a long way back in running, which is against her usual pattern, she still hit the line well. She went around $1.50 favourite, so clearly the market wanted to be with her as well. I think if she can begin better here and take up a prominent spot in running and try and work forward, then she's going to hold the aces on a horse like Celebrity Prince, who is likely to be out the back in running, and think if she can make her way into a prominent position without being posted deep on the track, that she can bounce back in a big way.
Quite an open market here, Riley, really. As mentioned, Secret Style is drifting. It was as low as $2.65, but now out to $4. Celebrity Prince on the second line of betting, a last start winner, and a really nice acquisition to the Helen Harding yard is $5. Sure Thing, first up today, also at $5. Zing to Win, $6.50. Boab Boy is at $7.50. Ballback is $10 into $8.50. Treasured Queen is $14. False Statement, $23. Mungo Jerry, $26. And Nicolite, another first up galloper, is $41. How do we see things playing out in the 6?
Yeah, very open market for this one, Tess. One of the highlight races of the day for mine. I'm with the one, the toppy, Celebrity Prince on top. I think he's the best horse in the race. I love the form that he brings from his runs earlier. This preparation in town, form around horses the likes of Desert Whisper, Want a Winner and Supernatural. He was a dominant winner first run here at Kalgoorlie. Don't love the fact that he's likely to settle last in running, but I think at his best, if he can get the right track into the race, he's got a little bit on these. So one Celebrity Prince on top for me. From the 10, Secret Style, who can certainly put herself in a much more prominent position here today, and that's certainly going to help her improve, despite the fact she was still a really good run on return. The 4 in for third, Sure Thing. If he can wake his way to the front, then he's going to certainly take some gunning down if he's forward enough off that freshen up. And 2, Zing to Win in for fourth. 1, 10, 4 and 2.
1, 10, 4 and 2 for Riley Morgan. We'll hand you upstairs now to Darren to call us home.
Here's Zing to Win coming along here, the Palace Hotel. Landmark destination here in the Goldfields, sponsor of the Goldrush, the Goldfields version of it. 1,200 metres. And now here comes Sure Thing along with Treasured Queen and Boab Boy. So they're the last three runners to move forward. Wide open edition of the Gold Rush here in Kalgoorlie this year. 440 Secret Style. Rider Tash Faithful with a black cap. $5 each of two. Celebrity Prince Sure Thing on the WOP. $6.50 Zing to win. Boab Boys at $7 and $8.50 for Baalbek. Boab Boy will be the last of them to be loaded away. The starters there on the ladder. The lights transition to red. Set to go. Palace Hotel, Goldrush. All racing, jumping very awkwardly. Mungo Jerry, first to get going. Sure Thing, Treasured Queen, also Baalbek showing early speed and driving forward soon after the start. Right behind them, Zing to win, but it'll be Treasured Queen, Sure Thing from Boab Boy when they settle properly into stride. In behind them, Baalbek, followed further back behind those, Zing to win a length and a half. Nicolite, then over on the outside next of all when they work to the side is Secret Style. Further back, Celebrity Prince with only two behind it going down the side of the course. Right back there, False Statement. Last of all, Mungo Jerry, who didn't get the best of the starts. The leader, Treasured Queen, as they come down the side. 500 from home is Treasured Queen, who'll bring them from the judge. Running second, Sure Thing, a length and a half to Baalbek. Then Boab Boy in the middle, around the outside, Zing to win. Right off the course, Secret Style with a big baldy face coming around them deep. Nicolite back near the rail as they go by the 270. Sure Thing has gone to the lead. Sure Thing, a length and a half clear. Treasured Queen, Boab Boy, Secret Style trying to make up ground, but Sure Thing still the leader. 100 from home, Sure Thing. Then back behind them, Secret Style. Sure Thing kept going though, and Sure Thing has won the Gold Rush. Sure Thing beat home Secret Style. Tight for third. Back on the inside there was Baalbek and False Statement in that group, as well as Boab Boy. Leave that one to the judge. They were followed further back, Zing to win. Celebrity Prince never got warm in the run on. Further back, Treasured Queen had dropped right out. So did Nicolite. And always at the tail end of the field, Mungo Jerry. Number 4. Sure Thing, first up for Troy Turner, and David Smith has won the Palace Hotel Gold Rush. Number 4 on return today. First run in 71 days. Sure Thing takes out the Gold Rush. Beats 10, Secret Style, Tash Faithful. They've run 1:13.46 and the judge wants the photo for third. And having had a look, goes to 5, Baalbek for the minor end of the placings. 4, 10, 5 are the numbers. 4, 10 and 5. Sure Thing with its 6th victory in 20 by Akeed Mafid from Lalani for David Smith and Miss S. Anthony. And ridden by Troy Turner, having a good day in Cal. Beating Secret Style, the Justify mare, Tash Faithful for Peter Fernie, and Baalbek from Kambana Lodge, Jefferson Tang, the son of my admiration. 4th is very close. Further photo for 4th, 4, 10, 5 and a camera after the running of the Palace Hotel Gold Rush. Great result here by David Smith. He's freshened the horse up. It's now won 3 of its last 4 here in Kalgoorlie and delivers a fine performance today. As we go to race 7, the Goldfields Tattersalls Club Cup at 4:25, and they're all going to run. Tess will join us in a few moments. Must be awfully close. For 4th, it goes the way of 7, False Statement, just in front of Boab Boy. 4, 10, 5 and 7 are the numbers here after the Palace Hotel Gold Rush. Margins to follow. Tess, as we take it down there with you in the yard. This has been a great effort once again by Sure Thing and David Smith.
Absolutely right. Darren catching up with David Smith. David, he's back, and he's back in very good form.
Yeah, thanks, Tessie. I was real happy with that. Yeah, good to see him back.
What were the expectations going today? First up, has won first up, but the 71-day freshen up, it's done really good.
Yeah, no, he's come back well. I thought he was sharp, far from the Sure Thing today, with the track being a bit soft, and first up he can be a little bit soft, but yeah, no, he's got hit the line well.
It was a really tough win there as well. A good ride from Jagsy.
Yeah, beautiful ride by Jagsy.
Where do you look to next?
I think there's a 13 in a fortnight, the Kalgoorlie Sprint, and see how he goes from there.
Well done. It's great to see him back in such good form. Congratulations.
Thanks, Tess.
There's David Smith and here's Troy Turner.
Yes, thank you very much, Tess. Catching up with Troy Turner, a double on today's program. Troy, sure thing, had to absorb a stack of pressure in the run, particularly early, and he was there to be beaten late. But as he continues to show each and every time he steps out, he keeps raising the bar.
Yeah, you're right. He was always going to get that pressure early. Lucky enough to get a little bit of a breather, but he was travelling pretty strong and had to sort of let him slip a little bit before the corner. It's probably enough just to hold on, but he had enough going the line, but I think he'll improve on the run.
Did he give you the feel that he had enough left in the tank to kick like he did on straightening, given the pressure that he did have to absorb and the fact that he was on the fresher side leading into today's run?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit vulnerable of sort of getting run down late, but lucky enough he's a nice horse and he pushed himself and got the job done.
Sounds like the Kalgoorlie sprint might be next for him. And I know David has had a couple of cracks at heading to town with this horse. He was really good at his first run in town, then had excuses last start. Does it give you the impression that he could measure up if they thought about doing that with him once again?
Yeah, I think so. He has had a run down there prior to the start. I rode him at Bunbury, and it was right up to the mark, so I think he'll go well down there.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
There's Troy Turner. He's got a double on today's program, but he combines with David Smith here, and Sure Thing takes out the Palace Hotel, the Goldrush handicap over the 1,200 metres. Numbers here from the 6, 4, 10, 5 and 7. The next race here is the feature on today's program, the Tats Cup.